So we're 3 days into the Stanley Cup playoffs. I think it's about time we figure out who's going to win. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate the playoffs on NHL 22 and we'll see what happens. The first series we're going to look at is the Colorado Avalanche versus the Nashville Predators. An OT winner from Tomasino is going to give Nashville game 1. Newhook's going to lead the Avs in game 2 with 2 goals to even up the series. A Sorrow shutout is putting Nashville up 2-1, while an OT winner from Janot's going to put the Colorado Avalanche on the brink of elimination in just the first round. An OT winner from Manson is going to help the Avs avoid elimination in game 5, but at game 6, the Nashville Predators are completing a massive upset and they're taking the Avalanche down in the first round. So this is clearly going to happen even though Nashville lost game 1 like 7-2 in real life. Janot's leading the way for Nashville with 4 goals and 2 assists for 6 points, while Saros is picking up 4 wins with a .937 save percentage and a 182 goals against. Taking a look at Colorado, Kadri led the way with 4 goals and 0 assists for 4 points, and Kemper picked up only 2 wins while posting a .928 save percentage and a 243 goals against. So he didn't even have that bad of numbers. The next series we're looking at is going to be the Minnesota Wild taking on the St. Louis Blues. Greenway is going to pot an OT winner in game 1 to take game 1, but Barbashev is going to help the Blues take game 2 with an OT winner of his own. Minnesota's dominating game 3 with a 5-2 win, and then a 3-2 win in game 4 is putting St. Louis on the brink of elimination. In game 5, the Blues are going to avoid elimination with a shutout led by VILL HUSSO, and an OT winner from Shen is forcing game 7. And in game 7, another VILL HUSSO shutouts, allowing the Blues to fight back and make the second round after being down 3-1. KYROU led the way with 4 goals and 2 assists for 6 points, while VILL HUSSO is picking up 4 wins with a .926 save percentage and a 194 goals against. Matthew Boldy led the way from Minnesota, picking up 2 goals and 3 assists for 5 points, while Fleury was only able to pick up 3 wins with a .932 save percentage and a 232 goals against. Heading over to the Pacific, the Flames are going to be taking on Dallas in the first round. A Jacob Markstrom shutout is starting the series off strong for Calgary as they pick up game 1. However, Dallas is going to even up the series in a close game 2, 6-5. Calgary is bouncing back with a 2-goal game from Matthew Tkachuk, but 2 Rupe Hintz goals in the third period is helping Dallas even the series at 2 games apiece. 3 straight from the Dallas Stars is allowing them to take a 3-2 series lead, and then a massive 6-goal game is sending Dallas to the second round. Lindell led the way for the Stars, picking up 2 goals and 5 assists for 7 points, while Ottinger is picking up 4 wins with a .901 save percentage and a 291 goals against. Matthew Tkachuk's leading the Flames with 4 goals and 6 assists for 10 points, while Markstrom only picked up 2 wins with an .886 save percentage and a 281 goals against. To round out the Western Conference, the Kings are going to be taking on the Edmonton Oilers. A late goal from McDavid's helping Edmonton take game 1, and 3 first period goals is enough for Edmonton to take game 2 5-2. Another 5-goal game from Edmonton is putting the Kings on the brink of being swept, but LA is going to avoid the sweep in game 4 with 5 goals in the third period. But in game 5, Edmonton's going to continue to roll with a goal from Derek Ryan and Ceci, and they're off to the next round. ARVIDSSON led the way for the Kings, but he wasn't doing too much, picking up only 2 goals and 3 assists for 5 points. Peterson's only picking up 1 win while posting an .894 save percentage and a .376 goals against. Leading the Oilers, it should be no surprise, it's Connor McDavid. 1 goal, 7 assists for 8 points, and Smith, he's picking up 4 wins with a .900 save percentage and a 253 goals against. Heading over to the Eastern Conference, Florida's taking on Washington. Panthers are going to come out hot in game 1 with a 4-1 win, and an OT winner from Duclair's putting Florida up 2-0. Luckily, Washington avoids falling to a 3-0 deficit with a massive 6-goal game. A Trevor Van Riemsdyk goal with less than 2 minutes evens up the series at 2 games apiece. The Capitals continue to roll and they take game 5, pushing Florida to the brink of elimination. But the Panthers are avoiding elimination with an OT winner from Verhaeghe, and they're forcing game 7. And in a high-scoring game 7, Washington's 8 goals is going to be more than enough, and they're taking down the Florida Panthers in round 1. Nick Backstrom was leading the way for Washington, picking up 4 goals and 6 assists for 10 points. Vanacek picked up 4 wins while posting a .908 save percentage and a 282 goals against. Taking a look at Florida, HUBERDEAU's leading the way with 2 goals and 6 assists for 8 points, while Bobrovsky's only picking up 3 wins with a .908 save percentage and a 326 goals against. The next matchup we're going to be looking at is going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. 4 straight Toronto goals is going to give the Leafs game 1. Tampa's bouncing back in game 2 with 4 goals to even up the series. A Matthews third period goal is going to help the Leafs take a 2-1 series lead. However, once again, Tampa's going to be bouncing back with a 6-goal game. The momentum would continue for Tampa, and they put the Toronto Maple Leafs on the brink of elimination. But Toronto's avoiding elimination with a 3-2 game 6 win, and we're off to game 7. In game 7, an OT winner from Colton is going to send Tampa Bay to the next round and send Toronto home. Braden Point led the way with 2 goals and 5 assists for 7 points, while Vasilevsky picked up 4 wins with a .916 save percentage and a 258 goals against. Austin Matthews led the way for Toronto with 4 goals and 2 assists for 6 points, while Jack Campbell picked up 3 wins with a 905 save percentage and a 309 goals against. Taking a look at the second last matchup of the first round, we're going to be looking at Boston versus Carolina. An OT winner from Pasternak's given Boston game 1, and a late Bergeron goal in the third period is helping the Bruins take a 2-0 series lead. Carolina is going to avoid falling to a 3-0 deficit with a 2-0 win, and in game 4, an Anderson shutout is going to even the series at 2 games apiece. Carolina would continue to roll, picking up their third straight win 3-1. Luckily, Boston would avoid elimination by forcing game 7 with an OT winner from Marchand, and in game 7, 2 late goals from Boston is sending them to the second round. Pasternak led the way with 3 goals and 3 assists for 6 points, while Ullmark's picking up 4 wins with a 926 save percentage and a 222 goals against. Teravainen led the way for Carolina with 2 goals and 4 assists for 6 points, and sadly, Anderson was only able to pick up 3 wins with a 930 save percentage and a 207 goals against. And our final matchup of the first round is going to be the Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the New York Rangers. The Penguins are coming out hot in game 1 with a 3-1 win, but Adam Fox is going to score a massive goal with seconds left in game 2 to even the series. Another late goal from Fox is putting the Rangers up 2-1, and New York continues to roll heading into game 4, and they put the Penguins on the brink of elimination. And in game 5, the Rangers are sending themselves to the second round, and Pittsburgh's heading home. Kakko led the way for the Rangers with 1 goal and 4 assists for 5 points, while Shesterkin picked up 4 wins with a 931 save percentage and a 221 goals against. Malkin did what he could for Pittsburgh, picking up 3 goals and 0 assists for 3 points, while DeSmith had a rough series, picking up only 1 win with a 904 save percentage and a 283 goals against. So taking a look at all playoff scores, Matthew Tkachuk is currently leading the way with 10 points, and looking at the defense, Lindell is going to lead with 7. Entering the second round, the first matchup is going to be Nashville versus St. Louis Blues. Tarasenko is going to pot an OT winner to start off the series right for the Blues, but Nashville is scoring 5 unanswered in game 2 to even the series up. A late goal from Buchnevich is putting the Blues up 2-1, but Nashville continues to fight back as Roman Josi is going to pot an OT winner to even the series. Tarasenko is potting 2 goals in game 5, which puts the Predators on the brink of elimination, and in game 6, a late goal from Tavanen is going to force game 7. Game 7 came right down to the wire, but when it did end, an OT winner from Duchesne is sending the Predators to the conference finals. So far, Roman Josi is leading the way with 3 goals and 11 assists for 14 points, while Saros has picked up 8 wins with a 930 save percentage and a 231 goals against. Ryan O'Reilly did everything he could while leading the Blues with 2 goals and 10 assists for 12 points, and Ville Husso, he had a pretty solid playoffs as he's picking up 7 wins with a 913 save percentage and a 247 goals against. The final matchup in the West we're taking a look at is going to be Dallas versus Edmonton. Dallas is dominating game 1 with 7 goals, which includes 4 in the third period. The momentum would continue for Dallas as they're taking game 2 for a 2-0 series lead. 4 straight in game 3 is going to put Edmonton on the brink of being swept, and in game 4, an OT winner from Dallas is sending them to the conference finals and eliminates Edmonton. Pavelski's doing pretty solid right now with 4 goals and 10 assists for 14 points, while Ottinger's picked up 8 wins with a 907 save percentage and a 272 goals against. McDavid did everything he can do, but it still wasn't enough, and he's picking up 14 points with 3 goals and 11 assists. Smith fell apart in the second round. He finished with only 4 wins while posting an 877 save percentage and a 259 goals against. Heading over to the East, we have Tampa versus Washington. Tampa starts the second round off strong with an OT winner from Chiarelli, but Washington's going to even the series up in game 2 with a Samsonov shutout. The Caps continue to do their thing, scoring 4 unanswered to steal game 3, and 3 third period goals from Washington is putting them 1 game away from the conference finals. A Kucherov OT winner helps Tampa avoid falling in game 5, but in game 6, Washington's potting 4 and they're eliminating the Lightning. Currently leading the way for the Washington Capitals is Alexander Ovechkin with 8 goals and 8 assists for 16 points. Vanacek's got 8 wins with a 912 save percentage and a 259 goals against. With Tampa's run coming to an end, Point ended up leading the team in points with 13, consisting of 3 goals and 10 assists, while Vasilevsky picked up 6 wins with a 905 save percentage and a 308 goals against. Our final matchup of the second round is going to be the Boston Bruins taking on the New York Rangers. The Rangers are able to steal game 1 with 4 straight goals, and Boston's going to even up the series at 1 apiece with a 3-2 game 2 win. 2 pasta goals is going to help the Bruins as they're picking up a win in game 3. However, the Rangers are evening up the series once again with an OT winner from Toronto. Boston's bouncing back once again, and they're putting themselves 1 game away from the conference finals with a game 5 win. Lafreniere is able to keep the New York Rangers' hopes alive with a 2-goal game 6, but in game 7, the Bruins are going to be too much to handle for the Rangers, and they're off to the second round. Marchand's currently leading the way for the Rangers with 7 goals and 10 assists for 17 points, while Ullmark's picked up 8 wins with a 918 save percentage and a 254 goals against. Adam Fox ended up leading the way for the Rangers with 4 goals and 5 assists for 9 points, while Shesterkin's picking up 7 wins with a 912 save percentage and a 276 goals against. Through 2 rounds, Brad Marchand's currently leading the way in points with 17, while John Carlson is leading the defense with 14. So with 2 rounds in the books, we're down to 4 teams: Dallas, Nashville, Washington, and Boston. First, we're going to take a look at Dallas versus Nashville. Dallas is taking Nashville down in game 1 with 3 unanswered, and 3 second period goals is giving the Stars a 2-0 lead. Luckily, Nashville is going to avoid falling to a 3-0 deficit on the back of 2 Tovanden goals. A big game 4 from the Stars veterans is putting them 1 game away from the Cup final. However, Nashville is going to avoid elimination in game 5 with the help of 2 Forsberg goals. But in game 6, the Stars are coming out on top and they're off to the Stanley Cup final. Pavelski continues to lead the way with 7 goals and 13 assists for 20 points, and Ottinger's picked up 13 wins with a .921 save percentage and a .242 goals against. Ignore the extra game he's won. Roman Josi did everything he could for the Predators, picking up 3 goals and 14 assists for 17 points, while Saros is picking up 10 wins with a .918 save percentage and a .249 goals against. Taking a look at the matchup in the East, we got Boston versus Washington. Boston is able to survive a 3rd period push from Washington as they're taking game 1 5-4. In game 2, the Caps are evening up the series with 3 unanswered. 2 OV goals are going to put Washington up 2-1, and the momentum continues for Washington as they are now 1 game away from the Stanley Cup final. And in game 5, an OT winner from Alexander Ovechkin is sending the Washington Capitals to the Stanley Cup final. Currently leading the way for Washington is Nick Backstrom with 6 goals and 16 assists for 22 points, while Vanecek's picked up 12 wins with a .915 save percentage and a .254 goals against. With Boston's time coming to an end, Brad Marchand led the way with 9 goals and 12 assists for 21 points, while Omar picked up 9 wins with a .918 save percentage and a .259 goals against. Through 3 rounds, Nick Backstrom is leading all scorers with 22 points, and John Carlson is leading the defense with 20. So here we are in the Stanley Cup final. The Dallas Stars are taking on the Washington Capitals. I bet this is the series everyone expected to happen. Dallas is going to take game 1 with a massive 7-4 win. The success from Dallas is seen in game 2 with a 4-2 win, and no one's able to stop the Stars as Ottinger's picking up a shutout, which puts them 1 game away from winning the Cup. And in game 4, another Ottinger shutout is going to win the Dallas Stars the Stanley Cup. Honestly, this might be the worst playoff sim of all time. Somehow, every single wildcard team made it to the conference finals. Like, this was actually stupid. I don't even know how any of this happened.